I think one of the most like cool and creative things to come out of like modern writing is certain power systems, right? Or like the baseline of powers. Um I think just having like a nice little general roster to work with gives people the ability to explain their visions in from like combat media in such a creative way. It's really cool. Obviously there's so many ways to go about it, right? Like super speed, is the person moving really fast, or is it like the invincible speedster where like he just perceives the world so much slower compared to everyone else. Sometimes powers can be used to explain a character. A lack of powers can be used to explain a character. So today we will be going through a power tier list based on how useful it would be in real life, right? And we're gonna be like a little more realistic about it. I know that it's a power tier list, but like I'm gonna assume that you're not like fighting people 24/7. So a superpower that is like purely combat is not going to be S tier. Like you're not gonna, spoiler warning, Saitama, the ability to kill things in one punch is not going to be S tier, because how many times are you realistically going to need to kill someone in one punch, right? But starting off, we got super speed. Now, there's a lot of ways to take this. Super speed without the speed force is one of the worst things ever. You will be breaking your ankles 24/7. No, you get one use, because then when you stop, your ankles will just shatter. Or even like running super fast, you're just gonna blow yourself to smithereens. You're gonna tear your skin off. Hang on. Real quick, this needs an F tier. I did not add an F tier, but this definitely needs an F tier. There are definitely F tier superpowers. There we go. F tier established. So without like the speed force, F tier. However, since Flash is on the image, I'm going to move it to D tier, because if you have like Flash's super speed, I think it's S tier. But we're gonna say generally it's D tier. You can go a little bit faster, but like, I mean, just get in a car, get in a bus, ride a bike, or something like that. Next we got immortality, and living forever, or yeah, literally, just living forever is so much of a curse. Like, everyone understands how terrible it is. You do not need to like explain it. Whenever there's like the immortal snail question, like a lot of people forget that like you want to know where the snail is. You want to have the option to die at some point, because living forever just is not exciting. So immortality is F tier, easily. Sucks. No one really wants to live forever. Next we got regeneration, or super healing. I'm thinking like Wolverine or Deadpool levels of healing factor, or like the Hulk, or someone who can like heal off any disease, heal off like a lost limb or something like that. Like if you cut your hand off, it will grow back. I'll put it in like, honestly, S tier. You never have to worry about like, although if regeneration is immortality, then it's kind of like, no, it's still really good, because all you need to do is jump into a pool of lava. But if you'll keep regenerating from that, then that's really bad. So for that reason, I'll put it in A tier, just if there's that downside. But if it's like once your cells are destroyed, you're just cooked, then it's S tier easily, because you never have to worry about a disease, never have to worry about like a debilitating illness, and the only thing is like, you will have to go through a lot of pain, but this isn't a superhero world, right? You're not going to be put on like the front lines 24/7 in the same way that like Wolverine is, where like they know he won't die, so they're going to put him against fucking Thanos, right? You're not fighting Thanos. The worst you're doing is fighting the IRS, and you can do that. I believe in you. Next we got healing, and I think this is one of the greatest superpowers. If you are okay with going through nursing school. If you're okay with that, then S tier, top of S tier. If you're not, Still S tier, but not top of S tier. Your friends never have to worry about dying, and especially like because I live in America, right, where healthcare is outrageously expensive. So not having to worry about ever like having your loved ones have to go to a doctor, and if it works on yourself, you never have to worry about going to a doctor. If you get like a PhD, or not a PhD, but you go to med school, then and become a doctor, then you'll be the greatest doctor of all time, and you won't have to do much of anything, right? You'll probably get like kidnapped by the government, so I don't recommend it, but you can do it. And if you don't get kidnapped by the government, then you're rich forever. So easy S tier in my opinion. Telekinesis, moving stuff with your mind, is cool, but not like super helpful, right? Like depending on the impact, right? If it's like telekinesis where you can like lift a car, then that's pretty, like, it's a cool party trick, I guess. But like, you just much rather have something else, you know? So I'll put it in like B tier. It's not the worst, but it's not the greatest. Like, I would rather take just regeneration or healing over that. Next we got telepathy, and if it's just like sending a message to someone's mind or reading someone's mind, it's fucking terrible. And since mind control is here, I'm gonna take it at that value. It's worse than mid. It's worse than mid. Actually, I'm gonna move super speed up to mid tier, because like you don't have to go super fast. You can just go like faster than the average human, right? You'll be the greatest runner of all time. But like with telepathy, like I don't want to know what's going on in people's minds. That's gross. Especially in 2024, like if you make the mistake of reading like a teenager's mind, all you're gonna get is Skibbity Ohio Riz, and oh dear God. Next we have mind control, and that if you're evil and don't care about the moral complications of mind control, easy S tier. So I'll put it in S tier, because like no matter what, you will always get away with everything. Someone's coming after you to because you like stole from their shop. You just mind controlled them, and all of a sudden they don't care. You didn't pay your taxes, and now the IRS is after you. Well, they're mind controlled. They don't know what's going on. They're fucking wobbling around with their heads off like they're a dead chicken. Right? It's super handy. Or like if you just, I guess the one problem is like, you'll feel like a lot of your friends are super fake, for the sole reason that like you might run into the problem of like not knowing if you're mind controlling them. So I'll put it in like A tier. It's only good if you want to use your power for evil. Teleportation is super fucking handy. You never have to account for like travel time in like in events. Like how many times have you guys like had an event at like, I don't know, 5 o'clock, but you had to go leave for it at 4 o'clock just because of travel time? With teleportation, you just ignore that. Work, you're in, you're out. You are only spending 8 hours a day at work. Depending on the type, like if it's like the boys teleportation, that's a little bit scuffed. If it's the boys teleportation, it's like D tier. Well, no, it's like C tier, because you can still use it for evil, right? You can just teleport into a bank, steal the money, and leave. But if it's like you can keep your clothes, and like even just keeping your clothes, it's still S tier, because that implies that you keep like what's in your pocket. But if you don't keep your clothes, then it's like it's mid. You can profit very heavily off of it, but like you can also profit off of energy blast by killing everyone. S tier. Cloning, depending on the type of cloning, like if it's like cloning where your like you retain the knowledge of your clones and like any skills that they generated, easy S tier. But if it's just generating a clone, I don't know. It's nice to have someone like clean and like make your bed for you, but it's mid. Again, if it's like cloning where you like keep the memories and knowledge, probably S tier, honestly, because that's super helpful. You just like make a clone and say, all right, clone 1, go read only biology books. Clone 2, read only engineering books. Or depending on the type of knowledge transfer, if it's like, if the clone has to die for you to gain the knowledge, then that's a little bit sad. But if the clone doesn't, and you just like constantly get your knowledge updated, you could cheat so easily on every exam ever, because you can just say, all right, clone, go watch a video on Calc 1 or Calc 4, and then like you'll have a higher chance at passing than anyone else, because your mind will constantly be like refreshing itself, which is super cool. But otherwise, it's just C tier. It's mid. Creation. Is this God? Is this saying like, would you like to be God? Because God is overpowered. I'm gonna assume it's God, and I'm not gonna explain why being God is good. It's God, guys. Invisibility. Okay, if it's the one that you can't turn off, then that's just sad. But if it's just turn invisible, you could do a lot of nefarious things with that. However, I think the nefarious things like that you can do with invisibility are less than like telekinesis, less than mind control. It's mid, it's mediocre. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Phasing is, I mean, it's never helpful, right? Like, you phase through a bank, there's security cameras, they see you. You phase through a door, and congratulations, you have a cool party trick. It's not terrible. If it's like Danny Phantom levels of phasing, that's pretty cool, I guess. But Danny Phantom's also able to like fly. It's good in like combat, because you can like phase through someone's like stomach and do like vision style, like snap their spine. But at the same time, you're never needing to snap someone's spine. It's kind of just mid. Shapeshifting is really overpowered. You can become any figure. Assuming it's just humans, it's still S tier. But if it's any humans and any animal, then it's like S tier. But because it's just like, well, at the same time, it's only really good in my mind for profit. Or like espionage. And like, if you want to espionage, that's fine. It's an S tier power, but it's not really helpful in your day-to-day life. Really. I mean, you can experience life as like a snake, I guess, and see what it's like to deep throat a rat, but at the same time, like, wow, you know what deep throating's like. Wow. Time travel. F tier, because no matter what, every single form of time travel is like gets fucked over so quickly, because you go back in time and you accidentally sneeze on a caveman, and then all of a sudden you come back to modern day, and all of a sudden fascism won times 2. It's like if I don't know, not good. If it's just like you can travel like back to the time and grab something, then like, I mean, you can grab an ancient relic and sell it, I guess. You can go back in time and give Julius Caesar a Fanta. But like, really, be honest. What would you even contribute to history to make the modern day better? Right? What are you gonna do? Tell a caveman how to build a rocket ship? You don't know how to build a rocket ship, and you sure as hell are not gonna remember how. So, like, F tier, super F tier. Time paradoxes are bad. Yeah. Pause time is very handy, because it's like diet teleportation, I guess. Because where like teleportation, you just go there. Pause time, you can pause time and then walk to that location. So that's fine in that regards. But like, I don't know, pause time, it's just worse teleportation. And if you're like an evil creep, I guess maybe pause time is hype for you, but don't be an evil creep. So I'm gonna put it in like C tier, mid, completely mid. You're not doing shit with it. Breathe underwater is a cool party trick, but like, here, let me actually reorder this. I think this is worse than cloning. you don't want to go underwater. You can't survive the pressure. And even if you could, have you seen the terrifying creatures in the ocean? Like the giant squid? Brother, we have only seen the babies. You will die in the ocean. I mean, what? You can go into the pool and swim around? Congratulations. You can do that with a snorkel. People literally scuba dive. We can breathe underwater. Actually, wait, yeah, true. We can breathe underwater. This is useless. It's only helpful for, like, the best lifeguard ever, I guess. But you're not Aquaman. You're not him, bro. Laser vision. Mid, because it's not terrible, but if it's Cyclops laser vision, actually I'm going to assume that's Cyclops. I'm just going to put it in D tier. Bottom of D tier. Actually, laser vision is, like, super shit. Because, like, you can only hurt people with it. It's never going to help you in any other way. And if you cannot turn it off, then your life is a permanent curse. You must keep your eyes closed at all times. And if you don't, then you're going to kill everyone. It's like being blind, but, like, you don't get, like, you know how, like, blind people have, like, enhanced, like, senses in other regards? I don't know the exact science behind it, but, like, it's like that, but, like, if you ever open your eyes, your ceiling is gone, right? Like, you can never wake up. Yeah, F tier. Energy blast is fine. Like, you can kill people. If world domination is your thing, then energy blast is probably, like, A tier. You can still die, but you can probably one-shot everything. But, like, at the same time, like, it's, like, literally worse than shapeshifting. You know? I mean, I guess it's, like, it's better than mid. It will get something done, but it's not great. Change size is, I mean, it could be helpful, right? Like, going through, like, small spaces, or, like, I guess if you want to do, like, a little mischievous espionage, you can use it for profit, because, like, you can become really, really small. If it's, like, Ant-Man levels of change size, then you can, like, enter the fucking quantum verse and get torn to shreds, I guess. You can become really big and troll people. You make people think that Attack on Titan is real. That's cool, but you will still get shot in the knee and die. It's cool, I guess, but it's not great. Super senses. Is this Spidey sense? I'm gonna assume that this is Spidey sense. It is S tier. You will be the greatest sports player of all time, because you will have precog. And precognition in sports is insane. You will never have to worry about getting hurt, because you'll know what happens, like, beforehand, and, like, even if it's a gun, you should just be able to move out of the way. Actually, I mean, like, it's really only good for sports now that I think about it. I'll put it at top of A tier. No, I'll put it below regeneration, but, like, if you're a sports player, or, like, purely want to make money, or, like, whatever, super senses is S tier. Super intelligence, don't need to say much, S tier. You will be the smartest person in the world. You will always know the right answer. You'll always know everything. It has the potential to run to, like, the more of a quote-unquote curse area, but, like, it's, like, no one's ever said, man, I wish I was dumber. If you become MODOK, then it's, like, bad, but, like, just don't be MODOK. X-ray, you can see through walls, I guess. It's cool. It's very underwhelming, I guess. Super endurance. You can take a lot of damage, take a lot of abuse, never have to worry about... No, you do have to worry about getting hurt. Okay, there's two routes. Super endurance can either imply, like, a lot of stamina, or you can take a lot of hits. And a lot of stamina is... I mean, it's good, but it's not great. Like mind control, you can do a lot more evil. Like, energy blast is just better for combat. Elemental, what, you become the Avatar? I mean, S tier. It's so, like, okay, I'm just assuming that it's just all Avatar abilities. It's so fucking versatile. And actually, I'm gonna put it at the almost very top. Water, you got healing, Fire, if you want to fight people, you can do that. Earth, you can like control metal or create your own house. Air, you can literally fly. They just fly in the Avatar world. You can blood bend. You can do like all these cool things. Very great, but it doesn't beat creation. One punch, mid, because you're fighting normal humans. An energy blast will kill them. You don't need the power to kill people in one punch because we have the ability to kill people in one bullet. It's only helpful if like there's other superpowered entities around you and we don't live in that world. And I'm not assuming that we live in that world. So it's mid. It's mediocre. It's cool, I guess, if you want to like start going on a murder spree, but you have to hit them. And actually, the more that I talk about it, worse. It's D tier. At least it's not a curse like these. Flight is very cool. People like to hate on flight, but like, you will never have to worry about things being too high ever again. And like, think about how cool it would be to study on a roof. I'll put it in like B tier. Like I think it's worse than like shape shifting, but it's not like super speed levels of mediocre. Portals is S tier. Although it's just teleportation. It is kind of just it's teleportation, but like you can move a lot of things, guaranteed. That's like an implied. So I'll put it in S tier. You can kind of fuck everything over if you like open a portal on a roof and open like one portal on the roof and one portal at the bottom of the ocean. That'd be kind of whack, but like yeah. If it's like the kind of portals where you need to like be in a location, drop a portal, and then go to the next location, drop a portal, it's a little worse, like an A tier power. So I'll put it in A tier, just in case. But if it's just like you can summon a portal one spot, summon a portal the other spot, like Doctor Strange style, as easy S tier. Stretching is the same mediocre as shape shifting. It's a cool party trick, but meh. I think it's like worse than super speed, worse than cloning, and has the potential to be worse or better than invisibility depending on the type. If this is permanent invisibility, it's F tier, but I'm just assuming that it's like you can turn it on and off. Photosynthesis. This is not a superpower, but it's cool. You'll never have to eat again. However, eating food is a nice experience, right? Like food tastes good, so does this mean that your stomach just doesn't have the ability to like consume food? That would suck. But assuming it's just like you can generate energy from the sun, it's pretty helpful actually. I'll put it in A tier. You'll never starve, which is very nice. If you're like running out of like breath or stamina, then you can like photosynthesis and get energy. So it's like, I think it's like as good as Super Sense for like sports, because like Super Sense you have precog, and photosynthesis you have like infinite energy. You'll never get tired. Resurrect the dead. Not the greatest. Part of human life is the fact that it's fleeting. That's what makes it special. And if you have the power to resurrect the dead, like I don't know what that means. You could create the next zombie apocalypse, and that would suck. So D tier, it's not a curse, but it's not the greatest. Weather control is super nice. However, I feel like you need to be intelligent, otherwise you're gonna give your like the location you live in like a dry season. But it's really really nice. It's really good. You will be the stop to global warming. Super talent, S tier. And then super luck is also S tier. Both of these are kind of like you'll excel at whatever you want to do. Super luck actually I think is the best of all time, because luck is the most powerful thing in human life, right? Everyone has the opportunity they have. Yes, to some degree because of their talent, but to a larger degree because of luck. And you having the power of luck is insane. Let me see this list. Let me just like review and see if there's anything that I want to change around. I think super intelligence is a little bit worse than all of these. Actually, weather control is definitely like worse. I think it's worse than mind control. Elemental, just because I don't know what it entails, I'll put it at the top of A tier. But that's the tier list now. Turns out like this is a very top heavy tier list simply because like superpowers are at a baseline good, right? And having any of the powers that aren't in F tier will instantly make you like an infinite, like so much higher in power level than the average human that it's like, you know, pretty helpful. Resurrecting the dead is like cool. You will make a lot of money. You will live very comfortably if the government knows that, because they don't want people to die, right? They don't want to die themselves, so they'll make sure that you live a very long and healthy life to make sure that they live a very long and healthy life. So there's merit to that. But if you can't resurrect yourself, then you're just gonna die anyways, which is big whoop, but you get to live human life, so congratulations. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. More content, PogChamp? Maybe. More tier lists definitely to come. I've made some really fun ones. Yeah, thank you. Bye.